Starting already? Y'all coming in here big time like that? Y'all in a big mood too? I'm in a big mood too. Good evening and welcome back to another edition of the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host, the one and only Talent Throw My Taylor, aka Talent New Year Save the Bear Taylor, aka Talent the One Take Wonder Taylor, aka Talent El Idolo Deportivo Taylor. It is another en fuego day in the hottest city in the world. We coming at you live and direct from South Florida. It is December. It is February 27th. We got one more day left in Black History Month. Highs today was 86 degrees. Lows today is 61 degrees. Current temperature right now is 76 degrees. If you guys already know what we do here in the podcast, then you know I got a show. I got a game going on in the background. Right now, my New York Knicks is whooping Boston 90-75. I'm not exaggerating. I just had to bring this in here early because while we got temperatures of 76 degrees, they got snow up there. Is it snowing where you at, Chill Will? I love South Florida. Look, I love South Florida. They dealing with snow right now in New York. They don't know if the Boston Celtics are going to be able to get back to Boston, to be able to fly or drive out of town to get back to Boston. You know how close Boston is to New York City? They don't know if they'll be able to get back to Boston because the snow is so bad. And Boston's already been on a three-game road trip. So this was finally the last game on their road trip. And as close they was gonna be to being home, and they really can touch home, and they're like, yo, get home, like we're right there, we can't even get there, we right there, like you can smell home, like you can hear your bed squeaking, like damn, my bed is squeaking, I'm not even there, I'm hearing things. We have all that coming up for you, right? Like you understand, this is volume 8, episode 64, track 518 of the MyT Sports Podcast. And boy, do we have a big show for you today because we had a crazy weekend. I'm talking, we had Clips versus Sacramento. You understand, to live and die in Cali is the way to be, but you don't have to die on your sword as long as your store gets up. We got a Blue Chew promo code coming up for you guys. And don't worry about what time we start the podcast because Dame Time always shines. We're going to talk about him. We got the Paul Bearer. Oh, I'm sorry. We got this Paul being buried, but he'll come back. There's a remix clause in there somewhere. We got birthday shout-outs to hand out. Nothing over the weekend. All the fluff is today. We got Arizona's iced tea hitting hard, breaking hearts, and upsetting people's stomachs and their wallets and their pockets. Right? We got the Knicks streaking. I actually thought the Knicks were going to end their streak today. We got 10 minutes to figure out if that happens. We got Kanye talk. We got the king going down. Did I tell you this was a crazy sports weekend? Yo, this is a mission of a crazy sports weekend. We got Sugar Clay Thompson. We have all that and more on the MyT Sports Podcast. But you know what we say here, regardless of the time, even though we started an hour and a half late, and regardless of the weather, because we're in the Sunshine State, it's always a blast on the MyT Sports Podcast. Hey, yo, coach, come in here real quick and give us some motivational words so the people could get hyped.
You play to win the game. Hello?
That's all it is. Let's stir this up and get started. So let's start talking. Woo! Back at it like a sports fanatic. And so you don't know about me, Joe Rogan. I talk sports. MyT Sports. Woo! Sweating over here. The best intro in the business, maybe the third best intro in the business, but you guys haven't heard the other two, so it's the best intro in the business. Oh man, we got a big show for you guys today, but you know what we like to do here on the MyT Sports Podcast? We like to start off every single show with a little birthday celebration. What that means is that we get a little birthday shout out to everybody that had a birthday since the last time that we was on air. This is your cue to start tagging your peoples that had a birthday on Friday. Start tagging your people that had a birthday Saturday. Not Friday. Fuck Friday people. We covered them already. Start tagging your people that had a birthday Saturday. Start tagging your people that had a birthday Sunday. Start tagging your people that got a birthday today. Start getting their names in the comments, right? So we can give them a shout out. Start adding them on the show because we already added the two that I know, right? You start adding them to the show, right? Start tagging them in the show so that they can hear their shout outs as well. You come down here. You bring the family down here. You bring them down here. You have the dog listen. You put this in the baby room with the monitor on the side. You understand? You tell your Amazon or Google device, hey yo, put on the MyT Sports Podcast live on YouTube, and bam, you see my face. You get your birthday shout outs. We all over the place. I mean YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You understand? You mention it and we're there. Podbean, Mixer, Pandora, Spotify, TuneIn Radio, MyT Sports Podcast is there. Podding all over the place, leaving little pod seeds all over the place, just so I could drop that flavor in your ear. And since we talking about that flavor in your ear, hey yo, DJ MyT, go ahead and drop that birthday beat. I likes that. So now, you know, this is your next step. Get your drinks, get your spliffs, get your party, you know what I mean, your party treats, and it goes a little something like this. Yeah, it's your birthday. We said it's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Because it's your birthday, we sing happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. Hey, yo. All right, so what we got, right, folks? I got no birthdays for the 25th. Sorry, 25th people, right? Born on the 25th, you got no birthday shout-outs for today. We had the 26th that passed. I got no birthday shout-outs for the people on the 26th either. So that means all of the birthday shout-outs. I'm feeling myself. I'm feeling myself for my lighter. Right? But so all the birthday shout-outs that we got is for today and today alone. So yo, feel yourself for real. I'm about to light this one up for you. Hey yo, birthday people, this joint's for you. That's delicious. That's how I be moaning in my girl's ear. Don't be afraid to moan in your girl's ear. Actually, I kind of growl in her ear. I do that lion shit. I'll growl in the motherfucker's ear real quick, and then go in there and bite the titty like I'm trying to bite that bitch off. Gotta make that motherfucker purr. All right, let's get the birthday shout outs going. Right, let's get the birthday shout outs going. On Instagram, that you guys already know. Every single Wednesday, we record live from Sharky's, but we also do a little bit of MyT trivia. This ain't trivia time; it's birthday time. Let's get back on track. Choo choo. We got birthdays for the 27th, folks. The first birthday we got is for my boy Johnny D. Facts, right? Johnny D happens to be somebody else. Yo, you guys are starting to realize a pattern, right? At least once a week, I happen to give up, if not once a week, at least once a month. But we're going to go with once a week. I give a birthday shout out to somebody that I met while I was a ring announcer for Platinum Pro Wrestling. This is no different. Want to say happy birthday to Johnny D, one of the finest wrestlers out there. I'm telling you guys right now, if you haven't booked Johnny D on your promotion, then that says more about you than it does about him. Yo, he is the ish. He was born to do this business. And if you ain't hiring him, then I'm going to question your ish. Happy birthday, Johnny. You keep tearing up the scene. Can't wait to see you wrestle again. Right, and then I got a birthday that's a little bit more personal. Want to say happy birthday to my homegirl Nadia Miranda. Now, can I tell you? I thought she was a twin this whole time. This whole time. It wasn't a. I'm gonna tell you how old I was when I found out she wasn't a twin. Yesterday old. I was yesterday years old when I found out she wasn't a twin. I'm 41 plus. I've known her for 16 years. Her mom's goes to church with my mama. And yeah, I this whole entire time, I've known her and her sister. Now, maybe it's because it's me. Maybe they never ever, and almost likely they didn't. Maybe they never ever introduced me as twins. They probably didn't. But in my eyes, they were both sisters. They both stood 7'3", so I just called them the Twin Towers. And in my head, I may have made them twins. But this whole entire time I thought they were twins. Oh yeah, they could have played for Arizona or Arizona State. We'll talk about them a little bit. Or UConn, right? Or USC, South Carolina. You know, not university. Not Southern California. Which I really thought USC was the University of South Carolina forever. I can't even tell you how old I was when I finally figured out that USC was not the University of South Carolina. Don't ask what the fuck I thought UCLA was. Don't look at me like, well, ask me what I thought you. I was just confused on that shit for a while. I was like, UCLA, I don't even know what the fuck. I just know it was in Cali somewhere. Like I don't know how I was in Cali, you know, but whatever. Yeah, this is sometimes like you just ain't paying. Like I'm telling you, you'll never meet a motherfucker that tazzes through their life more than me. You know, I just spin. You know what I mean? Like drink, eat, fuck. I just spin through life and everything's a fucking blur. Everything is one big spinning blur. Names, faces, places, traces, all of them blurs. But every once in a while, time slows down for me. Every once in a while, time slows down. And we get the opportunity to witness something phenomenal that really sticks in the cerebral cortex, really lasts on the psyche, right? And we got that on, was that Friday? Sunday night. This whole weekend has been incredible. This is one of those incredible sports weekends. And it's an incredible sports weekend. There was no football. There's no baseball. Just basketball and fists. And maybe a bat. But bats ain't ready yet. Let's get into our first topic of the day, right? We got no MyT topic. You know what? Nah, let's make this official, right? I don't know what you guys are dealing with over there, but let's make this official. Let's make this our MyT topic of the day, as the New York Knicks are currently up by 12 with just about 6.5 minutes left to go in this game. Also, something to mention that right before this game, Jaylen Brown was ruled out in this game. So these things matter, as the New York Knicks are going to be playing Boston twice within the next 7 days. You see Mitchell Robinson with a nice little offensive putback off the Emmanuel quickly miss. Knicks are currently up by 14 right now. Let's make this our MyT topic of the day.
MyT.
We gotta get a centuple. Well, we need 7 MyTs on this one. MyT. That's how MyT this topic was. Dame time was on point. You know they say, I'm not always there when you call, but I'm always Dame time. You're gonna notice another pattern here in a second. So the Portland Trail Blazers would take on the Houston Rockets last night. As we know, the Houston Rockets are 100% in the "What About Your Mama" sweepstakes. So I don't even know if Houston's trying to win games anymore, right? You let John Wall tell it. They stopped trying to win games a couple years ago, but you know what I mean. And they will never hesitate to try to put themselves in the lottery. So they played the Houston Rockets and they beat them 114-131. In this game, Damian Lillard would put up a career high in 3-pointers, a career high in points, and I can't say he put up a career high in minutes, but he sure as hell put up a lot of them. He damn near played the whole game except for 3 minutes. Played 39 minutes that game. And it was for good reason. Granted, this wasn't a close game, but it was an exciting game. And that's because Damian Lillard dropped 40 points damn near in the first half. Yeah, it was one of those nights. In the first half, Damian Lillard called up to the MyT boom rooms, right? Where there's a room for everybody that booms. And he made an early reservation to get into the club. We're going to open them doors up a little bit later. Now, he made his reservations late because it was a Sunday. And there was already about half a dozen people in the club partying, getting their groove on, in there all weekend, chilling. You know what I mean? Going up to shorties, talking about what's your name, what's your style. But as soon as he bought that line, Dame came up from behind and asked him, what's your interest or who you be with? Things to make you smile. What numbers to go dial? You go be here for a while. You know how that goes. And I know you guys started finishing it. And I heard you say true. Isn't that right, boo? Yeah, you said it now if you didn't say it before. "13 for 22 for the three-point range. 13 threes. To top a night, to put the cherry on the top of a weekend where we saw 12 3-pointers being made. Oh yeah. Damian Lillard was in his time bag, and what he pulled out of there was second to none. Well, second to a few, but still. You know what's so crazy about it? He dropped 71 points, 39 minutes, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. I don't know if it was right before this game or yeah, I don't know. I think it was right before this game. Not directly right before this game, but after the last game they played, I should say. Well, the Portland Trailblazers are stuck on their plane because they can't take off. Rest in peace to take off. Or was it Offset? One of the two. One of the offs. Right? But just up on the plane. And Damian Lillard is out there making a whole entire freestyle video from his Samsung device. We're gonna say his Samsung, right? from his Samsung device, making a whole entire video, dropping it that same night before they even take off. Rest in peace again to Off. And now you catch him again, right after dropping 71 points, 39 minutes. And the NBA, immediately right after, they're going to drug test Damian Lillard. They pull him to the back for a drug sample, for a blood sample. And if you have them tell it, right, or you hear him tell it, it literally, and it's crazy too how they do this, right? Because it literally, in his head, it diminished his whole entire moment. It basically brought him from cloud 9 down to reality. Like, hey, we need your blood because, you're playing too good. I'm watching this play. What happened here? I'm wondering, okay, so I don't know if it was a foul. I don't know if they're saying that. No, it wasn't the fact that they said he didn't have enough time. They said the shot clock went off. Huh. So right now, right now they're reviewing a play that Jalen Brunson just got off. They're playing in Boston in the fake Garden because you guys know that Boston wants to be like New Yorkers so much, like they even named their sports arena after us, after ours. Like you know how that should go. But Damian Lillard again, 71 points in the night, and we've seen a couple of 71-point scorers in this modern era of basketball, right? Is that what it's called since it's been done? The modern era of basketball. We've seen. You know who we haven't seen? Jordan. Just letting you know. But okay, but but we've seen in sequential order, right? And also starting with the GOAT of them all as well, too, right? In this case, we've seen Kobe Bryant do this, right? When he dropped his 81. Oh, shit. I don't have my laptop plugged in. There we go. Right. Oh, that's gonna scare me. I don't be trusting this plug sometimes. So you seen Kobe drop his 81, right, against Toronto some time ago. Then more recently in this generation of basketball, we've seen 70 points surpassed 3 times now with the addition of Damian Lillard. We've seen Devin Booker do it a couple of years ago. We saw Donovan Mitchell do it this year. And then we also saw, and now we've seen Damian Lillard do it. Now, the victims of the weekend kind of remain the same. You're gonna notice a pattern. You're gonna notice a weird little pattern, right? But can I tell you something, right? Damian Lillard once said that he's been doing. It's funny, right? It's always ironic that when there's a reel of an individual athlete, right, starting to make rotation, that something major for them happens, right? Like in the course of things, right? Yo, Tom Thibodeau cannot believe the call. Okay. Boston's coach looks way more reserved. He don't even look like he loses his cool like that. He looks like a soft-spoken, light-skinned dude. Like, all right, guys, listen. This is what we're gonna do here. This is what they said the play's gonna be. This is how we gonna get ready for the out of bounds play. Yeah, guys, bring it in. Blouses, need you over here. Shirts, we start. Oh man. No, so this you always catch these reels. I always feel like reels in rotation as and as they're in rotation. Okay, they must have made some weird ass no call. Okay, audio that's brought you right now is going to be coming from Peacock Sports Boston. Follow smart.
In the kick, right? The kick is a technical on Brunson, but it's going to be a side out of bounds, no shot foul for the Knicks. That's a win for the Celtics. That's a win. Okay, I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take that too.
The Knicks won. I don't know. It was weird because you saw Marcus Smart upset, Jalen Brunson upset, Tom Thibodeau upset, and you can't read light-skinned people. You know, they're just trying to stay away from the bright lights. Let's see, bring in the flavor. Highest scoring average. Huh. So Jason Tatum right now has the highest is scoring more points than any Boston Celtics player has ever put up in a season, and he's average. Now what? Yo, these refs are really trying to take all of the momentum out of Knicks basketball right now. So I don't think what happened here? So Jalen Brunson, they just inbounded the ball and they stopped the play. So I'm gonna assume that something happened with the play clock or the time clock where it didn't start in time or the right time. Maybe they're trying to verify the time. Listen, Tom Thibodeau always looks intense. So act like I'm over here being able to read Tom Thibodeau's face and emotions. You understand? Tom Thibodeau could win the play and be looking the way he's looking right now. Let's be fair. Let's get it serious. Right in this unserious times. Yo, foul on Al Horford. Julius Randle with the triple fake to get the 3-point off. Has Jason Tatum looking like he's on pogo stakes. He's missing the shot. But Mitchell Robinson, who the Knicks were missing badly, even though they were still winning games. There were some games I thought that we probably could have done better. We would have done better in. if Mitchell Robinson was in there. And okay, so Marcus Smart is taking Jalen Brunson off in the post, right? Catches him in the body, turns over the shoulder, and he misses. Okay, got opportunity to bring the ball back up. Emmanuel quickly does a little fancy dance, razzle dazzle, almost loses the ball. Knicks are up by 13. 5 minutes left to go in this game. New York Knicks have been leading the whole entire game. Just to let you guys know, right? This game started off shaky, right? I think it was 5-0 early, or even 8-5 for a long period of time, right? Emmanuel quickly got bumped, like he hurt his knee. Damn it! I don't want to add you to the injury report. Fell on his ass, hamstring. I don't know if he's holding his knee, his airing, his ass, his back. See, this is when Locks' ass bag would be so helpful right now. You know how many players I always watch in sports, and I'm like, yo, you could really use an ass bag. Just like Jake Paul could have used the chin and chest bag as well too. You know what I mean? But like the ass bag, if you guys don't know what the ass bag is, then I don't know if you're too young, if you didn't listen to hip hop, or I think that's the only two things. And I mean hip hop, hip hop. And Locks is full of hip hop. I'm like, hey, you got to catch the album. Make sure you catch all the skits in between. So let's continue to talk about skits. There's been this skit going around about Damian Lillard, right? This reel going around about Damian Lillard, about nobody's going to give him his credit, right? For the work that he's put in. And I'm not going to lie. I find truth in his words that when he gets credited, he's still a little underrated at that time and doesn't get ultimately the credit. Now, granted, he can't do it all. I think right now his team has a below 500 record, if I'm not mistaken. I think it may be only like one game below 500, but that makes them below 500, right? Actually, no, 29-31. Another team, New York Knicks, are better than. Yet, most people would not say that the Knicks have a player on their team that's better than Damian Lillard. And it'll be hard pressed to say that there's too many shooters in the league better than Damian Lillard. Especially, and I'm glad he won the 3-point. Come on, Julius. Oh, shot clock. That's why he had to get that off. I was like, yo, you was double teaming, and you could see Jalen Brunson open to your left. Yo, Julius Octavius Randle almost came back out. Nah, I can understand that. Jason Tatum being guarded by Josh Hart. Josh Hart giving up about at least 4 inches. Marcus Smart comes with the floater, and he makes that right over the outstretched arms of Mitchell Robinson. All right, we have about 4.5 minutes left to go in the game. It is an 11-point game. New York Knicks are currently up at home at Madison Square Garden. I'm assuming that the New York crowd is going wild. Did Jalen Brunson just dribble that off of his knee or his foot? They need to take him out the game. I'm not going to lie. I think Jalen Brunson is a little discombobulated from what happened earlier. That could have been a foul. Look at Jason Tatum jumping up and down like, yo, where's my foul at? Yo, he ain't lying. That could have been a foul. Based off how they... Oh, come on! Julius Octavius Randle just had the ball in his hand, and he missed a wide open Josh Hart cutting underneath the rim, but he takes it off the dribble, catches Josh Hart in the corner. I don't know if he meant to pass it that way, or if it got kind of hit out of his hand and it went straight to Josh Hart. Josh Hart's open in the corner. He hits a 3-point shot. So we get a +1 based off the easy one that he missed. Now, I told you that Jason Tatum was upset earlier about a foul call. Well, it looks like he just got into beef with one of the refs, and he just got ejected. Not a technical, ejected. Don't know if this is his second technical for the game, but he just got ejected for this game. So now the Boston Celtics about to finish this game with 3 minutes and 46 seconds left. No Jaylen Brown to start this game. right? No Jason Tatum to finish this game, and they're currently down by 14 with 3 minutes 46 seconds left to go in the game, right? Up by 14, Emmanuel quickly is currently on the line to shoot the technical free throw. One shot. Now the Knicks are up by 15. So listen, Jason Tatum has legitimate beef based off of how the NBA calls plays, right? That could have very much been that could have very much been a foul called and three free throws coming the other way. Oh, Mitchell Robinson with the block at the ball going to the rim. Did they call goaltending? This played through. These refs are bugging right now. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Jeez, shit is getting heated over here. Right? Listen, no one gives Damian Lillard any respect. Nobody gives the New York Knicks any respect, and rightfully so that nobody gives the New York Knicks any respect. But Damian Lillard deserves his respect. Let's see. The Miami Heat beat the Philadelphia 76ers by 2, 101-99. We see Charlotte beat Detroit. Update. Ooh, come on, man. You missing easy baskets like this? Do you get fouled? We have Charlotte beating Detroit 117-106. We have a little bit of breaking news about that game.
MyT.
We saw this right before we came on the air, actually. Let's give you a little bit of
Injury report.
all right. Yeah, we have an injury report coming out that Charlotte game. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Currently, right now, New Orleans is losing to Orlando 79-74, and the only other game on we have been giving you updates about this all evening. It's the New York Knicks up 107-93, extending that lead now to 16-14. What the hell happened? They gave them the 2 on the. That's right. That wasn't a block. Okay, sorry. It wasn't my math. It was my memory. Okay, I forgot that wasn't called the block early on for Mitchell Robinson. They called goaltending and gave them 2 points. I was like, but in my head, I'm over here thinking we should be up by 16, but they didn't miss that next shot. So if we make this shot right here, right, we make this field goal right here, we could be up by 16 with this shot. Look at Jalen Brunson is starting to cook. He gets a little screen by Josh Hart, cooks a little bit more, gets that ball out, almost throws it away. Shot clock violation. And it is a violation, right? That some people don't give Damian Lillard his respect because you know what? It's because, and I'm gonna tell you what happens. And I hope the transition has happened, right? Where the era of individuals that looked upon LeBron James and Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, right, and James Harden, as if that's the way that your stars of stars are supposed to act and keep moving and trying to and changing teams just to try to find especially while they're still in their prime. No, I hope we get back to the kind of era where we had loyalty, a little bit of loyalty, where players felt loyalty to their squads, right? And you see Giannis already exhibiting that and winning a championship. Damian Lillard may not win a championship, and you know he's a reason why old heads love him. And I don't know how he's revered amongst the youngins, but you know what though? I kind of do. While they may want him to leave, they are starting to respect him for not leaving. But also part of that narrative, Jalen Brunson with the 3, he misses it. He was wide open, and looks like is that an offense? No, is that a defensive foul? Loose ball foul, I should say, on Boston again. As Mitchell Robinson was trying to go up for the rebound, did they shove him out the way? Looks like they did, and Mitchell Robinson will go to the line, see if he can extend this lead up to 14, possibly 15 points. Knicks are currently up by 13 with 2:16 left to go in this game. And I bet against the New York Knicks. I'm going to tell you right now, in my Knicks segment, I was going to be like, listen, Knicks winning streak ending tonight. I thought I was going to be talking about the Knicks before this game was over. And I honestly thought their winning streak was going to end tonight, as they played Boston with no Jaylen Brown. They were up by 12 at the first in the first half, on the first quarter, I should say. Right, this winning streak so far has involved, who is it? Saturday we beat New Orleans 128-106. Julius Randle led all scorers. They were 28 points. Boston misses again. We got the ball back. Friday was at Washington 115-109. Kristaps Porzingis probably went out like 3 times. Looks like Jason Williams just committed a hard foul against Jalen Brunson, just kind of shoved him to the. See, we need an enforcer. We need an enforcer. Jason Williams should be getting. Yeah, he just couldn't get past him. He just basically kind of just like side on shimmied him. See, I don't know if I like the fact that Jalen Brunson was composed enough to not even react to it, or if I don't like the fact that nobody on the team reacted. Like, I'm fully torn. I am fully torn by what just happened there. But whatever gets us to the dub, this will be six straight wins for the New York Knicks. New Orleans, Washington. I know we beat Utah 126-120. We beat Brooklyn 124-106. We beat Atlanta 122-101. Shit, we were beating. What was it? Saturday? Was it Saturday? Yeah, I think it was Saturday. Right? We was beating New Orleans so bad. Is that the game? Yeah, 128-106 that they started calling for Derrick Rose. And Tom Thibodeau was like, bring Rose out. See, it's so odd what's going to happen to Derrick Rose, because if the Knicks buy out Derrick Rose, then it's rumored that the Phoenix Suns are going to try to sign him. And I'm not against Derrick Rose getting a championship. But again, you get all these guys. You get Derrick Rose. All right, you already have Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Chris Paul. You added Derrick Rose. I know you guys want to like, oh no, Derrick Rose is old. He's Chris Paul old. Right? So you get 2 of them that can split minutes and time and just give you burst. Yeah, Derrick Rose is good off a bench. Is good off the bench. And he's a good, and based off of how Chris Paul plays, he's an excellent change of pace. I'm not quite sure why he's not. Actually, I do know why he's not getting play for the New York Knicks. Is because every other guard on the New York Knicks is more efficient than him right now. And he's playing good. He's actually been playing good. They're just quicker, they're more durable, and they're more efficient. It looks like, and the New York Knicks right now currently up 94-109 with just about 30 seconds left to go in the game. Now you see Spike Lee standing up and holding up his arm as the New York Knicks are about to end up with their 6th straight win, which this is impressive. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it makes me kind of nervous about what's set to come, because this is kind of like a little mini All-Star, a mini rivalry week that we have going on this week. We play Boston right now, right? That's tonight. That's the end of that game. We play Boston right now, but then we play Brooklyn this week on Wednesday. We play Miami on Friday, and then we play Boston again on Sunday. So that's going to be 4 games in 6 days. 7 days, however you want to count it, right? But that's 4 games in about 6-7 days, and they're all playoff contending team. This is part of the New York Knicks having the 8th hardest record remaining in the season, and this is part that you see here: Boston, Miami, Brooklyn, Boston again, all in 1 week. This is a good start. This is a very good start. This is a good sign. Listen, you can't ask for nothing more because I think I said this earlier this year. Actually, I know I said this earlier this year. But when I watched the Knicks, I realized we can compete with anybody. It's just, can we beat them in 7 games? These are good victories, not just for the fan base, right? But for the psyche of the players. It's a different kind of players. Jalen Brunson as a leader is a hell of a leader to have, and his temperament, I think, has seeped its way fully into the Knicks locker room, and they're no longer jump the gun. They're no longer right being led by Julius Randle anymore. More of them, so they're being led by Jalen Brunson. And it may be 50-50 right now, just out of respect factor, but no, this team is being led by Jalen Brunson and Jalen Brunson's temperament and his gameplay and his consistency, his plus minus, his assist to turnover ratio, his big shot making. Like that, you know what? Call me crazy. He may remind me of Chauncey Billups. Call me crazy. Just kind of solid all around. Faster than he looks. Smart as anybody. Is smarter than than most people in the league. Come from a championship DNA in college, not high school where everybody, all of them did. And now he got his running mate, Josh Hart. Yo, it's gonna be tough. They play with the heartstrings, Knicks fan. They really are. They playing with the heartstrings. And the part that sucks about it is that the next game that we play is against Brooklyn. Right? Is it Brooklyn? Well, I haven't forgotten that we're still talking about Damian Lillard over here. The next game he plays is against Brooklyn. And this is one of those first games. This probably should have been one of them. This actually probably really one of those first games against teams in our division. But let's see, the game today was Julius Randle, 23 points, 7 for 16 shooting, 6 for 9 from the free throw line, 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Because more Brooklyn than anybody else, because Brooklyn is that team that's right ahead of us. So beating Brooklyn becomes uber important because it really helps narrow that gap of getting the Knicks closer to that 5 spot, where since Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving has left Brooklyn, that's where the Knicks fans believe that they should be now. And could possibly get as high as 4, but 5 should be a realistic achievement. And I was telling Chill Will, and I've told Chill Will before, he don't listen to me, but I'm gonna tell him again. I don't know if it's happening in Cleveland, but I know it's happening in New York. We have already been sizing up Cleveland because we believe that we, just like how we were sizing up Atlanta. And you know what's going to end up coming out of it? Regardless if we win or lose, a little mini rivalry coming up between us and Cleveland suddenly. We already feel some type of way about Donovan Mitchell not coming to the Knicks. Kevin Durant, don't you regret not coming to the Knicks? Well, let's put the Knicks to the side. I'm gonna come back there because Damian Lillard should have came to the Knicks as well. But he's gonna get highly respected for not coming in. And you see the respect starting to come through. See, those group of guys were so worried about how would their legacy look if they don't put up chips versus how would your legacy look if you had a few chips, but ultimately you stayed home or stayed with the team that drafted you and just stuck it out while everybody else. Because see, I'm telling you, Damian Lillard isn't going to catch slack for not winning a championship in Portland. They're going to fully say like, yo, he never fully had that squad around him. While everybody was building super teams and leaving to go do this and leave to go do that, Damian Lillard's like, yeah, I got this side. I got this city locked down. Come join me. Let's win if you really about winning. He told multiple players that if you really about winning, come see me. And nobody wants to answer that call and go build a super team with him in Portland. Because they ain't really about winning. That's why that's the way I take it. So now in this next era to come, right, you have Giannis already has done it, and he's winning a championship, right? And he's won a championship. Devin Booker looks like he may stay in Phoenix, but people have come around and gravitated towards Devin Booker. So location matters. Location. I feel like if it was the opposite way around, maybe Damian Lillard does have a ring if he was in Phoenix. Maybe we don't think maybe Devin Booker never makes it to a championship if he's in Portland. Maybe nobody ever comes to play with Devin Booker if he's within Portland. And don't give me Paul George and Carmelo Anthony. Don't give me them. Is that him? Well, did he have Paul George? Was that him? Or was that Russell Westbrook? I had Paul. No. He had Carmelo Anthony, not Paul George. But it was Russ that had both. No, listen, Damian Lillard's numbers are crazy. And big up to him for winning that 3-point contest because that really helped. But I don't see it anymore of these players gonna be getting slack if they don't win a championship. The only person I would have caught slack without winning a championship would have been LeBron James, to be honest with you. So we could see why, like he did it. But everybody else, nobody would have given Kevin Durant slack for not winning. Like you would have told him to take that shit on the chin. These people are too worried about their legacy and realize that they built like a legacy negaverse, right? That is just constantly consuming up every accolade that they've done now until they win a championship. Where there's these guys like Damian Lillard, he can stay in Portland and he be recognized. Listen, from the guys from my era, nobody poo-poos on the guys that didn't win rings. Nobody poo-poos on Chuck. We know how great he was. And we know there was one reason why he doesn't have a ring. There was one reason why all of them don't have a ring. And that's because of Michael freaking Jordan. And before it was Michael Jordan, it was Magic Johnson why they didn't have a ring. Or Larry Bird why they didn't have a ring. So we understood why. So when Patrick Ewing puts up great numbers, it doesn't have a ring. We get it. When Karl Malone and Stockton don't put up an amazing career, don't get a ring. We get it. You were stopped by one great individual. When like this era, you guys are just all over the place. You have no reason. Like once you start team jumping, you have no reason to not win a ring. But now these little guys, they're like, you know what? He didn't go out there and chase it. He wasn't out here chasing pum pum like some of you guys are doing. The pum pum just came to him, like a real OG. Just saying. If Giannis leaves with one championship, he'll be way more respected than the 4 that LeBron got. I'm sorry. Than the 2 that Kevin Durant has. Damian Lillard's no ring will still garner the same respect that Kevin Durant gets with his 2 rings. Now, Bradley Beal ain't the same as Damian Lillard. I just gotta say it. Bradley Beal ain't the same as Damian Lillard. And I don't know why. The shoe just doesn't fit for some reason. I don't know why. Me, because I feel like Damian, that I actually know why. Bradley Beal just never really put his team in any winning position ever. Like, he really is. See, I don't want to be so hard on Bradley Beal, man. I got to. Like, he really is an empty calorie kind of guy. He just is a stat stuffer on bad teams. He's not. Now I understand that they wouldn't even have the few victories that they have now, but it's also him and Kristaps Porzingis half the time. And nothing can be done there. So, yeah, I don't. If you wanted me to compare Bradley Beal to somebody, to be honest with you, fully honest with you, it'll probably be Kevin Love. And now you understand the difference between the two. There was a difference between LeBron James and Kevin Love's numbers on the team and how they affected their team and truly winning. Same thing with Damian Lillard and Bradley Beal. Now, I know that's like I said, I know that's tough tiers sometimes for people to understand, but forget about the tiers. Just kind of understand what happened in the scenarios and the roles that they got honestly played and will play and continue to play. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why when I see Bradley Beal, I'm like, you're not doing the same thing. Listen, I didn't feel the same way about Devin Booker either. Like, Devin Booker, up to that point, and granted, he was still super young in his career anyway, but Devin Booker wasn't giving me Damian Lillard vibes. Nah, because he wasn't affecting the winning. He wasn't out here consistently like blood, sweat, and tears all over the court, taking his team to the second round. You know what I mean? Losing in heartbreaking fashion, having game-winning shot, remarkable moments in the playoffs. Nah, that's not them. We see some until Devin Booker got Chris Paul, he looked like a half-asser. Sometime he stat stuffer. Listen, I know Bradley Beal loves this game. I'm not questioning how much he loves this game, and those of them. It just feels different. It looks different. That's I don't want to because I love me some Bradley Beal. I really do. It just, to give my honest opinion when I'm comparing the guy, when I'm putting these guys in the categories, like I said, the Giannis's and the Damian Lillard, and like I said, I put Book in there, but it was really for the narrative, because eventually people just kind of came to him. But yeah, I don't really like to throw him in there because he ultimately wasn't winning. The Knicks win 6 straight games, snap the Celtics 3-game winning streak. Oh, Celtics won a little 3-game winning streak as well. This is good for the Knicks. I gotta see what their record is to see how many of their last 10 games have they won. Because I feel like they're 8-2 or maybe even 9-1. I'll be shocked if they're 9-1. But I feel like we're 8-2. Before Josh Hart, were we on a winning streak? Well, we came here when we had one game. I'm trying to remember how things were looking right before the All-Star break, right before Josh Hart. But let's see here. Actually, no. Oh, okay. I almost saw Cleveland for 6. They're 8-2 in their last 10. Milwaukee's still 10-2. 10-0 in their last 10 games, continuing their win streak up to 14 games. They lost Giannis too, didn't they? Yeah, we did report that the other day. I haven't heard an update yet. We need to check on that at some point. How much time left before we have to take a mandatory break? We're still good. We're still in the mighty topic of the day. I know I'm dragging this Damian Lillard talk out, but listen, man, Damian Lillard's. I am going to be eager to hear the stories about Damian Lillard, that Portland community to the Bay Area, and how he was revered in the parts and respected in those areas. I am really eager to hear the end of the story for him. You know what I mean? Or the 40 for 40, I should say. Let's call it that. Let's call it the 40 for 40. Like, I'm really eager to hear the 40 for 40. I'm ready to hear the end. No, like nothing like in a morbid kind of way. I'm just kind of interested. Just kind of interested to hear about what influence he's had on players, individuals, and communities. So you guys realize that. So this 70-point game, I told you, put him in a league with Kobe Bryant, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell. But did you also know that he has had more 60-point games than Stephen Curry, LeBron James, Shaq, Bird, Magic, Tim Duncan, Bill Russell, and Kevin Durant combined? Yeah. One of those that like that's the kind of individual that we're talking about when we talk about Damian. So that's what we mean. Is like he may not get his respect, but we see him with or without a ring. He already gets the OG's respect. I know for the individuals in their mid-20s, right? Mid to late 20s, he already has their respect. Right? The majority of them, he already he already has their respect. I don't hear anybody that I know talk bad, whether they're old or young, to the even younger generation, ever talk bad about Damian Lillard. Yeah, Damian Lillard is gonna go down as one of those beloved people. As I said, without a chip, he's gonna go down as a Sean Kemp, or a Reggie, Charles Barkley, Patrick Ewing, Carl Stockton, all those guys. Like, he's gonna go down as one of those individuals. Even, and listen, he even said himself, don't let him get a ring. Don't let them mess up and let him get a ring. He said, he's like, yo, the side of him that we don't even know about is about to come out. He's about to be like, I can hear now, like, fuck you. I ain't ever like your game. I think you are a dirty son of a bitch. Like, your mama stink. Like, like your girl, like that baby ain't yours. Like, I could just imagine. I really, and that's Sunday. That's Sunday night of this weekend. I'm telling you, it's been wild. It's been crazy. It's been wild. Friday night kicked off the whole entire thing, and we was on air. I think did we cover the whole thing on air, or did we stop? Or did we stop mid game? Part of the game, and continue the rest of the evening. But Clippers versus Sacramento. Remember we were trying to debate with a game we wanted to watch, and we even thought ourselves like, yo, this game. I forgot what game they had on television, and only half of the billing lived up to the half of the market lived up to the billing. Whichever order goes. Let's see. Boston's next 3 games: Pacers, 76ers, and Knicks again. Oh no, this is their 3-game road trip result. Win over the Pacers, win over 76ers, and now the Knicks. Joe Mazzulla. I think they taken the interim tag off of Joe Mazzulla's title and just made him the official coach for Boston. That needs to happen there. That needs to also happen in Brooklyn as well, too. But you start we started seeing the possibility that this was going to be a special night, Sacramento versus the LA Clippers, right? But I forget what game was on, right? That they was doing for television, right? Like or NBA TV, whatever game it was. But I was like, yo, why aren't you playing this game? Because this game sounded like the more interesting game to me from top to bottom. Sacramento Kings, number 3 seed. LA Clippers, number 4 seed. Nobody's talking about the Clippers in the 4th seed. Meanwhile, the Lakers are trying to get into the play-in tournament. Lakers, though, if I'm not mistaken, 3-1 since the Russ trade, while the Clippers are 0-2. That's not his fault, though. That's not Russ's full fault. Like either way. Well, actually, no. In one way, it is in the Clippers, in the Lakers, because of the trade for him, they were able to basically afford themselves a whole new team, or get themselves a whole new team, right? And really get pieces that worked and role player pieces. This is what happened. The Lakers realized that they didn't need more stars; they needed more role players that sometimes play like stars, or we recognize sometimes as stars. They ain't need more superstars. No more number 1 guys, big old egos. Nah, what you want is those number 1 guys with that have commitment issues, but they have sustainability issues where they never. Oh, the Knicks have leapfrogged over the Nets, so that's officially now happened. The Knicks are officially over the Nets, currently sitting in that 5 spot now. That's officially happened with this win tonight. The win Wednesday night against Brooklyn will really help cement that, and then we just got to keep stacking them and stacking them and stacking them. I know. I've been harsh on some players today. Oh, look at Eddie House. What is Eddie House doing? So, is he part of the Celtic staff? Interesting. How you know Eddie House is there? But like I said, I don't watch. Like I said, while I may watch Boston games, I generally normally don't watch on the Boston station or the Boston's network. You know what I mean? Hey, old Pimpin', how was the birthday? Happy belated. Wait a minute. How come I ain't see your birthday pop up for the birthday shout outs today? Wait a minute. That's weird. Well, happy belated birthday, Pimpin'. Happy belated birthday to Vic. You know, he had his party this weekend. Big shout out. Right, so Friday night starts off crazy, and I really couldn't figure out why they didn't have this game on. I was really in just from a match standpoint of it being Sacramento versus Clippers, right? That caught my eye. Then you add the fact that they're both the 3 and 4 seed. That catches eye. Then being the 3 and 4th seed in the West also means that they're 1 and 2 in the division, by the way. Not Golden State, not the Lakers, not Phoenix, but Sacramento Kings and the LA Clippers. Well, like I said, you know what? Kudos to the Clippers for falling back underneath the radar in a sense, right? Right? Because that first year that Kawhi Leonard is attained. And kind of the same thing happened with KD in Brooklyn, right? It's complete mayhem, complete meat buzz. And then when you don't win that first year, it kind of goes back to the same old media coverage that you used to get. While there may be more media in the room than it was before, your media coverage, right? Your hits, your spikes, your mentions on television, those come back down to the norm. And I think that's what's happened with the Clippers. And it happened with the Nets too at some point in time after they got KD and Kyrie. Because when they were winning, we barely heard about the stuff they were doing about winning. The only time you heard about them was when they became a spectacle or a show or a distraction. Nets and Clippers alike. Right? When they're doing their consistent winners, is looking at them like, oh, that's what you're supposed to do. Nothing to see here until you guys win it all or get to a conference championship game, or at bare minimum, the semis. So we had in the end of this game, when we started the podcast on Friday, I think we had just got to the first quarter. I remember this. We just got around to the first quarter, and I think we were trying to determine what was what had happened with that buzzer beater that Kawhi Leonard sunk right at the end of the first. And what happened is that it went in and it tied the game at 40. And that's when we had our first little oh shit moment, right? It was like, damn, 40 points by both teams, end of the first. That's sounded like a very high scoring game. That sounded like a game like, whoa, they're gonna put up numbers. But we know how scoring can go. You can get 40 points from them in the first, and then things just kind of dwindle down. You get a 20 point, you get a 20 to 18 second quarter game, and next you know things are just kind of right back on track, right? Yeah, that's not what happened here at all. Like these guys just kept on going and going and going, and then next thing you know, yo, we're into overtime. Let me back up just a little bit for you, that you understand what a guan, right? This game goes, and by the way, the Clippers have a record of 33-29, and the New York Knicks also have a better record than them. Let's see, where they're at, 57.1% the New York Knicks, and where the Clippers at? 52.4. I'm saying right now, if the New York Knicks were in the West, they'll be the fourth team in the West. We're better than Phoenix. We're better than Phoenix, the Clippers, the Mavs, the Warriors, Jazz, the Timberwolves, the Pelicans, the Trailblazers, the Lakers, and obviously Thunder, Spurs, and Rockets. Only three teams we're not better than in the West, or the Kings, Grizzlies, and Nuggets. And as I said, because we're the fifth team now in the East, there's only four teams better than us in the East. That's Milwaukee, Celtics, Philly, and Cleveland. And we've beat Philly within the last 2 weeks or so, right before the All-Star, I believe. And then they came right back. And it's kind of like what happened here. We played them like a week later, and then they smacked us. But we've beat Cleveland this year. We've had their number. We just saw what we did to Boston. See, this is when those expectations start to gear up. You start seeing stuff like, hey, yo, the Knicks got a chance. And then you start being judged of your highest expectation. But sorry, we got sidewind again, didn't we? This game went into double overtime. Like I said, 40 points in the first in the first quarter by both teams. This game ends up going into double overtime. It would have 3 40-point scorers. 2 people made it into the club, 1 person didn't. 41 3-pointers made. And I still feel like that's low. 209 shots taken. This game would end 176-175. The second highest scoring game in NBA history. And I'm telling you, when I think I got off the air. I'm trying to recap a little bit. Because I'm trying to remember how Friday night went exactly. I think I went off the air for a little bit. Right after we went off the air, I think I may have had the TV off. And I still want, and then So, so as I'm writing, okay, so let me tell you what happened. So we was watching. So I remember we was watching this game during the show. Well, as I'm breaking stuff down and getting ready to, upload the podcast, get ready to go to bed, all that other good stuff, right? Well, at some point in time, the game had shut itself off, and I remember I was like, "Oh, wait a minute." So I asked the machine, right, my Google, if it could tell me the score of the game, and it told me, "Oh, the current." So I'm like, "Wait a minute, this game is still on?" And then next thing you know, I'm hearing the score, and I'm like, "Oh, let me put it back." I'm thinking like, because at this point in time, they had went into, it was still regulation. They were getting ready to go into overtime, and I'm like, "Damn, this could very well be one of the highest scoring games we've ever seen. Like, they could break this record. Like, there's a possibility they can break this record." So, what I made sure I was fully tuned in, now volume fully up, stuff like that, because like I'm watching this game, I'm about to switch off this game. Actually, there's no more games left tonight, is there? Hold on. All games are done already? Nah, y'all violated. But listen, the furthest game away was in New Orleans. None of the West Coast teams played today. I mean, because you count, unless you count New Orleans, but Boston, New York, Detroit, Charlotte, Miami, Philly, Orlando, New Orleans. All right. So let's continue. Let's continue to roll up and roll out. So yeah, the 176-175 ends up being the second highest scoring game in NBA history. Sacramento would end up getting the victory. And as I mentioned earlier, Russ is now 0-2 since they've joined the Clippers. Now, granted, the Clippers have played Denver and Denver and Sacramento. Right? They played Denver and Sacramento since that Russ trade. Let's see. I think they said that the Lakers are 4-1 or something like that since that happened. I'm gonna take a peek at who they play because that's not fair to Russ. It really isn't. It really isn't fair to Russ at all. So let's see. Portland, New Orleans, Golden State, Dallas. They're gonna play Grizzlies tomorrow. Okay, fair enough. Because Dallas shouldn't be struggling anymore, right? And Dallas struggles, then they've got again. They would have been another team that's gotten exactly what they asked for. Like, listen, the love for Kyrie, I think, is completely shot by now, right? It has to be. But listen, before we go any further, right? Let's open a club right now, right? And let's take a peek into one of these rooms, right? The club's already open. I just told you. Let's take into the.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Room. We have everybody that put up over 40 points. I told you we had an incredible weekend of sports. We had 6 and drop. Well, more than 6. I think it may have been 9, maybe 8, 9 individuals that dropped over 40 points this weekend. But obviously, you only talk about the ones that get the dubs. And I tell you, something's going on here. And like, I told you for the first time, like I'm actually watching this game, and I don't ever really watch it on the Boston network. But every once in a while, I like to listen to the opposing teams, or the team that's not my favorite team, or the team that I'm not rooting for, the team that I don't like. You know what I mean? I like to listen to their broadcast because I want to hear what it sounds like coming from the other side, or if a team starts getting blown out, right, or a team is going to be losing, or I think a team is going to lose this game, I listen to their broadcast. I subconsciously knew the Knicks were going to win. But no, I really wanted to hear what they were going to be, what the Boston commentators were going to be saying. I also because when you listen to the other side, right, you also get the little tidbits about those players that you may not hear from your regular commentators. Because we get all the tidbits about our team. That's the reason why we know all these little quirky things that make us fall in love with them. Well, you learn that because not just because like it's your team and you watch them and you follow them and you happily stalk their life, but also because the commentators, then the announcers, the pre and post team, the halftime team. You start hearing things from them, and they give you the little nuggets that you're like, oh, I never knew that about so and so. I'm a little bit more intrigued about this person now. That's when that happens. That's when that happens. So we had a bunch of people try to get into the club this weekend, right? But as you know what Coach said earlier, right? The only thing that matters is
you play to win the game.
So when it comes to the MyT, you know what? Let's just open the club up. Let's open up these doors so you guys can get in here.
Come ball to the only club meant for those who ball. The MyT Boom Boom Rooms, where there's a room for everybody that booms. Whether you're a vet or a beater, the main criteria is I want winners.
All right, let's get into it. So we had the New York native, right? We love him 1 minute, we hate him the next. The Knicks are one of 5 teams with 2 wins versus the Celtics. The other teams, the Cavs, the Magic, I'm telling you, Orlando. I know you guys knew I was going to respond like that, right? Also, the Bulls and the Miami Heat. Sorry, I'm over here dancing. Over here. Yeah, I know you were like, yo, what happened? Why he just stopped talking? I was over here dancing. I was over here shaking my tail feathers. Pause. But back into it, right? Let's continue to roll up and roll out. So we had Julius Randle, right? Resident New York Knicks power forward. Love him minute, hate him the next. We want we mad that we have him. We glad that we do. We gone. You need to get rid of him while his stock is high. That Julius Randle dropped 46 points the other night against the Washington Wizards. I think that night he ended up going like 6 for 14 from 3-point range. Knicks ended up winning that game 115 to 109, getting the number 1 stat that mattered the most. Also getting into the club as well was a set of teammates, the Sacramento Kings, or the Kings of Sacramento, that is, right? One dropping 45, the other dropping 42. Let's give them some names. Monk dropping 45. Where's the Fox say? 42, 42, right? As the LA Clippers get that 176-175 victory over the Los Angeles Clippers. And if you're wondering, that's one of the 40-point scorers came from that game as well, where the man of that team ended up dropping buckets. Then we got Sugar Klay Thompson. Are we gonna go into some full Sugar Klay a little bit later? Oh yeah. We got Sugar Klay Thompson with the Golden State Warriors. He drops 42 points, only 12 steps to get a W over the Houston Rockets, 101 to 116. Then we have Joker out of Denver, the big man, the big efficient. Right? The big ER, the big efficiency rating. Right? He drops 40 as well on the LA to beat them 124-134. And then the man that we talked about at the top of the hour. Wait, hold on, my bad. I forgot to make the joke about Klay Thompson that he made his reservation, but almost forgot that he had it. All right, let's get right. Sorry, corny as shit. Right, but the guy at the top of the hour, Damian Lillard, Dame Tom. I told you, at halftime in that game, he called in his reservation like, "Yo, yeah, I'm coming to the club tonight." I'm like, "Yo, you know you need that dub first." He was like, "Yeah, I'm coming to that club tonight, B." Damian Lillard dropped his 71 against repeat offender as well. Dame. So I wonder if, because Klay Thompson happened Friday night, Damian Lillard happened Sunday night. I wonder if Damian Lillard studied that game against that Golden State game, right? That Klay Thompson had against Houston, to see the kind of shots he was able to get off and able to start firing off, because Klay Thompson went off against Houston and so did Dame. But like I said, we were going to see a couple of patterns here, right? Well, just like the Joker went off against the LA Clippers. Well, so did Malik Monks and Darian Fox go up against the Clippers. So we see a pattern on the teams that allowed the individual the most points to get dropped against them, and we see two teams repeat offenders here. Houston Rockets, they're not trying to win games. We could understand them, but for the LA Clippers, that have Paul George, that has Kawhi Leonard, whose nickname is Kala, right? And you have Russell Westbrook now. Like, I'm sorry, your defensive standards have to be better. And if I'm not mistaken, I think you got a Holiday on your team. I think a Holiday. Let's continue. What are we doing here? Are we still in the club? No, we're not. We're no longer in the club. Let's go ahead and shut the club down. Let's go ahead and shut this down. Get these guys their privacy. We're gonna shut that room down. All right. These are all private rooms. We don't want to just have. We just want to keep this thing open. Let's shut that door real quick. A big up to all of them: Julius Randle, Malik Monk, Darian Fox, Sugar Klay Thompson, Joakim Nokovic. I don't know why I keep trying to call Joakim Jokovic. Nikola Jokic. And Damian Lillard for all dropping over 40 points over the weekend, but more importantly, getting a W. Because that's really what matters more. And I said, there's a couple of honorable mentions, but we ain't mentioning them because they ain't get that dub. Now, there's a bunch of them got over 17 rebounds over the weekend as well, too, right? So we got a couple of people in the boardroom. We definitely do got a couple of people in the boardroom. But we're gonna leave those guys as well alone as well. They're about their business. They're not about the flashy stuff like these scorers. Now, while we didn't let those guys that didn't get the W's in the club, like, you know who's still clubbing after a loss on Saturday in Saudi Arabia? Oh yeah. And Saturday in Saudi Arabia, we had Tommy Fury versus Jake Paul, folks. And again, like, you saw all the celebrities come out to this game. It was on pay-per-view. You know, the pay-per-view numbers did well. This fight ended up coming down to a split decision. I'll give you the end result now. All right. This fight ended up coming down to a split decision. Now, this is a split decision after a point was taken away from Tommy Fury. And also, Tommy Fury was knocked down in the 6th or 8th round, somewhere around there. Can't remember where he was knocked down again. But he was knocked down late into the rounds, like late into the fight. And even with all of that, it managed to squeak out a split decision for the winner and new made-up champion, Tommy Fury. And I give you the end result now, and we'll talk about it, right? Let me talk to you. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, I got issues. Yeah. This fight, it was a good fight. It put it this way, it was the first. It was the. This is the second true. This is the second person with boxing experience that he's ever fought, and maybe I'm confusing him with his brother. Right? I'm thinking Floyd Mayweather. Let me see. Let's see which one of these fought Mayweather. Which one was it? That was Logan. Okay, that wasn't even his brother. Okay, that wasn't even him. So this is his first opponent he's fought with actual boxing experience. We saw what happened to his brother when he fought somebody with boxing experience. He fought somebody half his size and still got knocked out. Well, like a good neighbor, Jake Paul is there. All right. And he took this fight with Tommy Fury. And can I tell you, this fight, honestly, it looked pretty even to me. It looked even. Numbers didn't. Numbers say a completely different story. And the fact that for as much ish as Logan talks or whoever, they looked to have the same experience level. Almost. They looked to basically have about the same experience level. Like I didn't see Jake from Paul. I mean, I keep wanting to call him Jake from State Paul. But Jake from State Paul, right? He didn't look like he was overwhelmed. He just didn't look like he can do what he wanted to do, but still caught a bunch of clean shots. Actually, I think I'm kind of lying. He looked overwhelmed at time. He did. He looked a little flustered. Looked like he couldn't do what he wanted, like what he's done in the past. But he caught some clean shots. He looked okay. Right? And the thing about it is that I don't even know how many fights Tommy Fury has. But Tommy Fury also looked like a neophyte as well. Right? And I know that with this, he's going to gain himself he finally gained himself whoever won this fight was going to gain themselves a WBC ranking, right? So let's see what Tommy Fury's, because he's only 23. I don't think he's ever fought anybody yet. Well, I couldn't say that. At 23, if you're a boxer, but total fights 9. They call him T. Okay. Heavyweight, cruiserweight. Let's see if they have the championship belt that they just made up and gave him. No, they haven't updated his Wikipedia yet. Yeah, so Tommy Fury looked like he was a neophyte his damn self. He really did. And and that was a good card. Actually, I'm lying. I don't know how good the whole entire card was. I saw the first fight. The first fight was a first round knockout. I saw the co-main event. Don't remember it for some reason. Because I was sitting around talking bullshit and I was also watching it on my phone. And then there was the Tommy Fury fight. But this is I listen, I can understand why one judge or may have had this go Jake Paul's way, Jake from State Paul. Right? I can understand why one of them may have had it go, because listen, even Jake from State Paul said, listen, he had at least that he had at least 2 10-8 rounds. He don't understand how the other judges But that may have been it. That may have been the only round that he had a 10-8 round. Other than every other round looked like he lost them. It was like he put up a good effort where he looked, put it this way, Jake from State Paul looked better than his opponents look against him. I guess what I say. He looked better against somebody that's actually trained for boxing than the people that never ever trained for boxing. I never trained in boxing looked against him, where he had the superior footwork. And in this fight, he didn't have the superior footwork. Footwork was about even. He didn't have the superior technique. Technique was about even. He didn't have the superior experience. Experience was just about even. For once, he fought somebody that was basically his equal and got dusted. But now the intrigue is in the comeback, right? The intrigue is in the comeback. As you know, there's a bone of there's already there was a rematch clause built into the contract. So Jason Tatum, when he got ejected, had 14.7 rebounds and 9 assists. Well, okay, so what was I saying about Jake from State Paul? Yeah, he kind of got dusted. He kind of got dusted to me. Like I said, that one judge that gave it to Jake Paul may have only given it to him because of the knockdown. I guess that was the swaying factor. But like I said, that's why the phrase also comes about: don't leave it in the ref's hands. Right? Isn't that what we say? Don't leave it in the ref's hands. Don't leave it in the ref's hands. Now, and you know what else you can't leave into just anybody's hands? You can't leave yourself into just anybody's hands and any growing situations that you may have. You want to make sure that you have that thing taken care of and taken on a point. And you can make sure that you never have any of the bedroom blues again, as long as you have Blue Chew. What is Blue Chew? I'm glad you asked. Blue Chew just happens to be a little blue pill that can get you back your thrill. All you need to do is open up a pack and head straight to the sack. Just a few chews before you do. It has the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so this is one opportunity that you just can't miss. For a very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss. She will love how you, for a very low cost, very, very low cost, you can beat it up like a boss. And she will love how you come through like a champ. Milwaukee, this is for you. When you Blue Chew in advance. Because with my promo code of GSSS, you can get your first order of Blue Chew for free. Yes, folks, for the free. You get your first order of Blue Chew for free with the promo code of GSSS. That's Golf Sierra. Basically, can't believe she wore that shit. And it doesn't matter what kind of style that you like. Doggy style, froggy style, jackhammer style, ceiling style, 69 style, 68 style, 808 style. It doesn't matter the style that you like. Right? Cramp, like what's it? Alabama taco style. You know what kind of style that you like? Truffle butter style. Crane style. Turtle style. Hidden lotus style. Right? It don't matter what your style is. Right? There's a Blue Chew for you. All you gotta do is chew it and do it. How you do it is up to you too. You do it like L. Cool J. You could do it all night long. You could do it like Lionel Richie. You just doing it and doing it and doing it well. Flip that. That's in reverse. Flip it and reverse it. You could do it like Missy Elliott, where you flip it and reverse it. It's your premonition, friend. Yeah. Just make sure you get yourself an order of blue chews. Not that thing. Listen, you know how things are. Like you think like I don't need that. I don't need that. How many things that you take that you need? Say what you need. This is what you want. You want us to do all them things you said you was gonna do in the DMs. You want to blow your back out, trying to blow her back out. You understand? You want to make a ling on more, but she from the old tiger bone. You want to put her in position, hold up her head and cock out the bottom, hold up on the bed and hold on strong, screaming and moaning is how she pop. Like you want that. Have Blue Chew give you all your wants and the desires that you want. You just chew it and then you do it. And then you over here winning like DJ Khaled. I believe in you. God did. And you can believe in yourself again. When you tell a girl, I'm about to give you this all night long. So now when you instead of falling asleep in 6 rounds, you take it old school. Now you're going for 24 rounds. We're talking about old school. Bare knuckle style, just beating up the pom-pom. So remember, promo code GSSS, Blue Chew. It's only 2 requirements. You chew it, and then you do it, Bernie Mac style. Then you stir it like motherfucking coffee. From the makers of Nabisco. Oh man, let's continue, right? Since we talking blues, right? Let's move into some Knicks talk, right? Let's talk a little blue and orange. Ain't a lot to talk about it, right? I feel like we talked about it all already. Right? The New York Knicks actually, instead of me saying that the New York Knicks win streak will be ending tonight, the New York Knicks have extended their win streak tonight. They have now officially won 6 straight games. Tonight they played against Boston that had no Jaylen Brown. Right, they were up by 12 in the first quarter. Jason Tatum would leave in the fourth quarter with a technical foul after he cussed out a ref for a non-calling a 3-point shot. Senate, listen, in this win streak, we've beat the New Orleans Pelicans 128-106. I don't want to go over that all over again. But big shout out to Derrick Rose getting basically a standing ovation or getting a request for an encore from the crowd, right? So that Tom Thibodeau could put him in the game. The New York's have been playing good lately. They really have been. And let me get the elephant out the room. We don't have a championship team. We don't. But there are only 4 teams, maybe 5, that realistically do. We've beaten some of them, just not consistently. We don't know if I don't think we could beat them consistently and go through all these teams and make it all the way through to the playoffs. Now we got some good pieces. I've said this since the beginning of the season, and I'll say it again now. Even after acquiring Jalen Brunson, even after acquiring Josh Hart, the New York Knicks are still that dude away. They're a Bradley Beal. I may even be convinced at this point in time that they're a Zach LaVine away. Maybe. But they are just one guy away. They are, and that's just why it sucks that Kevin Durant never came to the Knicks, because the Knicks are honestly a Kevin Durant away. We are one piece away. We are a full functioning complete team. Now the only thing about it is that we just lack superstar power. We lack that guy that is a top 10, top 7 player in the league. we're missing that guy. And can we get in combinations between Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle? That may be our formula to maybe help us get out of a first round playoff spot. But I can't say that's guaranteed. Cleveland is playing as good as basketball as we are. The Cleveland Cavaliers are the best defensive team in the league. We're one of the best defensive teams in the league. They are the best. And they have that dude. As do all the teams that are up there ahead of us. All of the 5 teams ahead of us have that guy. Boston, Milwaukee. Who else am I forgetting? Boston, Milwaukee, Philly, and Cleveland. They all have that guy that in a 7-game series when things get tight, they could put the ball. Now we have it in Jalen Brunson. We think we have it we think we have it in Jalen Brunson. We think we have it in Julius Randle. These guys get overlooked. We forget Julius Randle basically was a top 10 draft pick that hurt himself on in his very first 2 minutes of his NBA career. And then it's just kind of been all over the place since then. Well, since LeBron James came and decided that he needed a whole different lineup to win a championship. Can you imagine if he had the young core that he has now? If he had Brandon Ingram, if he had LaMelo Ball or Lonzo Ball, Julius Randle, and Kyle Kuzma, well, he could be getting out of that team now and not just added a few pieces. Like I said, he needed that championship early so he can relax through the end because he's getting older. He's getting older. No longer doing all of those winning plays. I know he chased down Kyrie the other day, right? But on a simple closeout on a corner 3, he's just standing there doing this on some plays. So listen, don't let it fool you. He never used to just do this. I'm saying. Oh man. So again, it's just everybody's just been playing well. Everybody's playing well. Everybody's playing poised. The Knicks no longer look out of control at times. Even though, like I said, there were times. There were a couple of plays in this game where I thought the Knicks could have tightened up their gameplay. Remember, there was even one where you heard me on the air. It was like, yo, call a timeout. I think Jalen Brunson may have been rattled towards the end of the game for that no call or weird call that happened between him and Marcus Smart, where they end up calling him for the technical, right? Even though the New York Knicks won the challenge, it's still the result of it still end up being found out that, hey, you know what, we need to give a technical out here, this down the third, this shooting shots here. So this game was winnable. This game was winnable for Boston. It's just they kind of imploded in. And again, shout out to the Knicks. The Boston Celtics did not lead at any point in time in that game. They waxed them from wire to wire. And it was ironic too because Tatum just came off of a bad free throw game, right, where he didn't really go to the line a lot. So they was even expecting that, he's probably going to come in a little bit aggressive this game, coming in with a little steam on him. Possibly want to go KJ category 4 at least. And they just really played good defense on him. Now there was a lot of missed shots too. Like there were a lot of good shots that Boston had, and they just kind of missed early. I think they made their first 3-point shot and then went 0 for 12 after that. It was some crazy number, right? So you can see where the lacking was. Every time they thought they had the opportunity to get a big shot to kind of close that gap, that shot they were looking for didn't fall, and then the New York Knicks would just will go ahead and make that play back up in transition. This is a hell of a game, hell of a game for the Knicks. Good statement game. The bigger statement game is going to be Sunday when we play them again. This whole week is going to be special. Like, again, Knicks fans, I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. I know you want to get all the dubs that you can get, but I want you to start getting realistic, right? And the only reason why I say that is that you need to start looking at our difficulty of schedule as nothing but a blessing, because you either elevate in the moment or you learn from it after. We're becoming fortunate enough that it looks like they're elevating in the moment. So we're getting the dubs. But there's going to be a point in time where we're going to have to reflect on that moment and learn from it. When that time comes in the moments where it matters the most, don't be upset with this Knicks team. These are the trial and times. Now, also the good thing about this is that now the New York Knicks are kind of forced to lock in now, as everybody is, right? But now you start to see now not just Knicks are forced to lock in. They're not just locked in. Everybody's kind of locked in. Again, 8th hardest schedule remaining in the season. So every game it should be a dogfight. You get to see how they're tested. And let's say that they do maintain the 4 seed, the 5 seed, whatever it is, the 6 seed. They really are they be in playoff mode already. Now, what Taysom is going to be looking for. Remember I told you about Jalen Brunson's temperament and look like he brings a calm to this team? Well, let's hope this team has learned how to pace themselves, because that first year they made it, when they went 2 years ago, they had no clue how to pace themselves from regular season to playoffs. Now you've seen them for the second year, for now, second year with Tom Tibbs, even in the third year with Tom Tibbs, but for the second time with Tom Tibbs, be in full playoff contention. And now this time around, you want to see if they've learned on how to ease into the playoffs while still playing hard, but not being exhausted by the time you get there, right? Reserving still, or understanding still that whatever you're doing now, there's another level you must get to in the playoffs. And hopefully they understand how to claim their stillness in the playoffs, the way that they've maintained the stillness and claimed the stillness now this year. Let's see if they can maintain that in the playoffs while also elevating their game, because that's where the winning formula is going to start coming from. And if they don't, then it's a winning. Then they have to start learning from that. And let's see if they've learned from 2 years ago to now. Not all the same pieces with it, but let's see the ones that are here if they've learned, right? And then if we fall short, or when we fall short on our face, then again, it's a building block. We have nothing microwavable on this. Nothing on this team says, "Oh yeah, we are championship contenders now. Oh yeah, we're no." But what they are constantly doing is building something. And trust me, like I said, you'd rather be the Denver Nuggets and Utah Jazz of the last 20 years than the Knicks of the last 20 years. So let the building go through its full fate of emotions and roller coasters and ups and downs. Now, you heard me mention this earlier, right? About, actually, you know what? let's do this because I see the time is coming up pretty soon for the people that's joining us through the call line. We got to reset that in just a moment. So what that means, right, is that everybody else listening except for the people on Podbean, you're gonna lose me. So everybody else, you're good. Everybody else, you're gonna keep me. But if Podbean, you're gonna lose me. But Podbean, the same guys, the same way that you joined the through the Podbean calling line, it's gonna be the same way that you are able to find the next available feed as soon as this one ends. So as soon as this one ends, we'll find the next available feed, and the Mighty Sports Podcast will be right there when you come back. Now, when you come back, you just may be hearing us either in the middle of, actually, you'll be hearing us most likely in the middle of a commercial, because while that gets reset, all of yous everywhere else, you guys are going to get a nice little commercial to listen to so that we can buy the time and get those guys and that feed back in here. So again, right after these messages, right after these MyT messages, we'll be right back.
MyT! They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous.
Let's do something here.
They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it.
That back, Pimpin. I need to say that. I need the people in the back to hear that.
They didn't join this team to win championships, become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, "I became a soldier." They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. You'll find them where the light will flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, "I became a soldier." They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better educated, led, and equipped than any team in history. They are doctors, lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops, all prepared for whatever comes their way. Find them where the lights don't flash, and the only contract they sign is with themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world, and they can respond, "I became a soldier." They didn't join this team to win championships or become famous. They joined because there is important work to be done, and only some able to do it. They are brighter, better
that long?
led, and equipped than any team.
Long as ever. Oh,
they are
I done fucked this shit up.
lawyers, engineers, technologists, and combat troops. All prepared for whatever comes
That's
their
tender.
way.
That's good.
You'll find them where the lights don't flash. And the only contract they sign is themselves and their country. One day, they may be asked what they did to make a difference in this world. And they can respond, I became a soldier.
And we are back with the Mighty Sports Podcast. I am still your host, one on Jonathan My Taylor. Thank you guys for listening. Wherever you may be listening at, whichever device, whichever app, however you're listening at, where you're listening at, I appreciate it. In the car, in the home, at work. You know what I mean? While you're having some squeak, 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 squeak. Oh my hammy! Squeak, 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 squeak. All right. Hold on one second. Wherever you're listening at, I do appreciate you, right? Since we're talking about some squeak. Well, let's talk about let's get into a little Sugar Klay Thompson, right? And his magic fingers, all right? That caused an eruption the other night. I got issues. Not always done on purpose. Left brain, right brain talking to. Now remember, this is a time frame where the LA Golden State Warriors have no Stephen Curry, right? They have no Steph. Okay, I'm thinking about the team, right? Because we just got jumbled. We just saw Boston with no Jaylen Brown, but we know that's not going to be full on. We now have Golden State Warriors who are in the staff. We haven't even gotten to the injury report yet. So you know what? Let's bring in some of these other injuries. Let's get them all banged out of the way. Nah, fuck that. I said fuck that. So again, there was no Steph in this game, and you heard me earlier. This is a game that they had against the Houston Rockets, and the Houston Rockets are basically allowing themselves to be used as punching bag this whole entire season. Team after team, player after player keeps putting up record-breaking performances against them, especially coming out of the All-Star break. They have just, while everybody else is revving up, they have been laying down. We're talking about face down, ass up. They're just trying to get their season just out of the way. This would be the 10th. This would be the Klay Thompson would put up over 10 3-point shots. This will be the 4th time this season he's put up more than 10 or more 3-point shots in a game. Previously to this, he's done it 4 times. So he's doubled his total in 1 year. I put it up 4 this year. Also, he now officially has more 12 made 3-point shots in a game than Stephen Curry. With only one more. They now broke the tie. They both had 2 before now. He has now officially broke the tie. Now, like I said, again, I find this crazy that just Friday, seriously find this crazy. That just Friday, that Klay Thompson was dropping 12 3-pointers on them, and then Sunday, literally 3 days later, you get Damian Lillard to do the same thing to you. That is no pride whatsoever. Now, I really believe that Damian Lillard must have studied some tape and saw what Klay Thompson did to them, because Klay Thompson licked them. Look at the flick of the wrist. Look at the flick of the wrist. Look at the flick of the wrist. Worked them. And then to have Dame come right back and do that to you, nah, something is wrong here. Let's see Houston's ranking right now. Because we all know that this is for the What About Your Mama sweepstakes, right? I don't know why I can't eliminate silently. So Houston right now has a record of Okay, so they do have the worst record. They officially took over the worst record with this loss, right? Surpassing San Antonio. So they have a record of 13-47. San Antonio is 14-47, and then the Detroit Pistons are 15-47. Those are your three worst teams in the league right now. Trying to get the most lottery balls in the sweepstake for what about you? I don't care what y'all saying. That is nice, cooked and juicy. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Also, like I said, this is a crazy weekend, right? Because that happened Friday night, right? While listen, we're watching Houston, watching Portland, not Portland. We're catching this Houston and Golden State game, right? That happened Friday night. Also, we have the Clippers with Sacramento. That happened Friday night. Saturday, you wake up, and all of a sudden, guess what I saw? I get Arizona versus Arizona State, and I wasn't even looking for it. And oh my goodness, the Miz must have inspired some people over the All-Star weekend, because all of a sudden, right, we got buzzer beaters, we got half-court shots, we have it all. And what we have more than anything is an upstate, and upset as Arizona State beats number 7 Arizona on a half-court buzzer beater. After making a miraculous shot of themselves. They'll win that game 89-88. And boy, oh boy, one. And I tell you, I've enjoyed the pickup in scoring in college, right? No longer games in the 40s and 50s and 60s. Maybe they're still happening. Right? Who hit that shot? Desmond Cambridge Jr. hit the 60-foot buzzer beater. Let me see. Arizona State rallied from a 10-point deficit. Now, it was crazy. It was crazy. It was absolutely bananas. And one of those times, like, you know what? Again, great timing for all basketball, right? For NBA, NCAA, that with no football here, we're getting our basketball where we're getting games from noon, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. You know? So I went up across this game. I'm trying to remember the sequential order. But then after that, I get the Knicks victory, right? Was that Saturday? I think so. Yeah. Knicks victory Saturday. That's the blowout where they're calling for Derrick Rose over New Orleans. Again, no Zion Williamson. And let's take a little sidebar here at Zion Williamson. I don't want to hear ever again the Knicks should have drafted Zion. Mm-mm. 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 I've said it once, I said it before. I've said it again. The guy ultimately I think we all wanted was Ja Morant. I mentioned this before that I really was hoping that the Minnesota Timberwolves would have panicked and put too much stock into Ja Morant's knee surgery in the offseason and passed on him and went with the safer RJ Barrett. Next time you should be happy you have RJ Barrett. You should be really happy that you have RJ Barrett, because since RJ Barrett has been in the league, he has played more minutes than anybody in his. He has played more minutes than anybody in his class. He is up there. Zion Williamson has played the least amount of minutes of all of the top 3 picks. The least amount of minutes of anybody that has gotten us, that has been starting since almost since coming into that draft. Actually, you know what, Knicks fans? I want you to brace yourself. I want you to sit down. I want you to relax. And I mean this because I'm gonna say something that's gonna trigger you. And I want to make sure that you're in the resting position before I mention this to you. Zion Williamson is exactly what Kristaps Porzingis was. Think about it. Phenomenal, freak player. Unicorn, bulldozer, right? When he plays, phenomenal numbers. Great. Listen, I'll give you one better. LA fans, I'm gonna trigger you. He's what Anthony Davis was in New Orleans too. Yeah, when you had him, it was great. When you had him, he was putting up numbers. He was looking incredible, helping the thing that mattered the most, and I was winning. But every time you get in a little momentum, you get in a little bit of a swing. Oh, there goes that thing again. What thing? That injury bug. Let's keep on getting bit by it every single time. Should be happy we have RJ Barrett and not Zion Williamson. Because the same way we talked about Kristaps Porzingis is the same exact way we be talking about Zion. Do you remember how polarizing he was? We were trying to debate if we should trade him away or we should keep him, because you just don't get rid of a guy drafted that high with this kind of talent, because what if he ever Would you want to have Chris Porzingis now? Imagine now still saying this 10 years later. Well, if he can just, yeah. If your guy starts off iffy, I don't know. That's not the signs that you want. RJ Barrett has been there consistently for us, getting better every single year. RJ Barrett has averaged the most minutes in the league at times under Tom Thibodeau. Top 5. Julius Randle still averaging the most minutes in the league right now. Top 5. So, Knicks fans, I don't know how we got here. Zion Williamson. Don't know how we got here. But be happy. Be happy we don't have him. The buzz that you want to have, the buzz is built around winning. Trust me when I say you'll rather have what we have now for a consistent 6 years versus what New Orleans has been going through with Zion Williamson, and continue to have that going on for another 6 years. Yeah, you don't want to think about it. Just think about it all. Let's think about it. Let's think about Kristaps Porzingis. And when we had Kristaps Porzingis, I should tell people that, yo, he reminds me of Anthony Davis. And you still can't prove wrong. Numbers were great. Effectiveness was great. All this stuff. He looked like he can be the next thing. He freak unicorn. He could never stay healthy enough to truly affect what the winning that you needed him to. Those are the three same players. Anthony Davis, Tingus Pingus, and Zion Williamson. AKA Kenneth Furry with better PR. Which I got back. He's a lot better than Kenneth Furry, but at least Kenneth Furry was playing. So since you talking about players that aren't playing, for real, like you talk about, let's go ahead and bring them up. We've been teasing this all day.
MyT injury report. Ah.
So first we have the King down and out. All right, if you guys may have heard or not, actually, yeah, it's too late. So we have the King down and out. We saw James, and remember he had just came back after the All-Star break. He was already nursing an injury. Kind of what happens. Just kind of injured the injury. People refuse to believe that LeBron James is getting old for some reason. Like we're seeing it. Like I don't care. You go, like, geez, people are so in denial. Right? But he's still averaging 30 points per game. How could he be old? Because he's good at his craft. Like, how many of you guys been doing something for 20 years? In your 20 years of experience, are you still working as hard as the neophyte is to get the same results? Or are you working half as hard to put up the same numbers because you're now at this point in time you're a crafty veteran that knows how to do his work and don't have to go through all that flash and glitz and glimmer and all that extraness that some of these young motherfuckers is doing. That's what's happening right now. But not affecting the major thing. Now, granted, since they got a new roster, they've been kind of shooting up the bottom of the pulpit board, and they've worked themselves into the number 12 spot into the league. Just 2 spots outside of the play-in tournament. This is phenomenal. So LeBron James is out, and you saw him post. This is funny too. I didn't realize it was him at first when I saw it. But you see him post a message that says fucking sucks. And I was like, fucking does not suck. You having an ankle injury may suck, but fucking definitely does not suck. But also added onto the list, we heard this right before we came onto the air, and we mentioned him a little bit earlier. LaMelo Ball, he on a setup move, right? He just kind of went down and went backwards and started holding his leg. So it looks like that's about to be a thing. So we've seen, since All-Star break, we've seen Giannis go down. We've seen LeBron James go down. We've seen LaMelo Ball go down. We've seen Zion Williams get ruled out for the remainder of the season because he wasn't supposed to be out for the whole season. Is it LaMelo Ball? Lonzo Ball too, I mean? That's being shut down for the whole season as well. I think Lonzo Ball got shut down for the whole season as well. The entire Houston Rockets, San Antonio Spurs, and who's the other team? I'm trying to make sure I'm able to accuse them properly. Because they may not be guilty. But definitely the San Antonio Spurs and the Houston Detroit. Yeah, San Antonio Spurs and the Houston Rockets are guilty as well too. Like they've nailed it for the remainder of the season. They shut themselves down. Trying to think who else in this injury report of significance. Like I said, we talked about Jaylen Brown, but Jaylen Brown is probably a temporary injury. We probably expect to see him before the end of the week. By the time the Knicks play them on Sunday, we expect to see Jaylen Brown back into this league. Kevin Durant should be back this week. Kevin Durant should be back this week. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I can't explain. Stop. Let's see if they're playing Tuesday night. They're playing Tuesday night. I feel like Phoenix is going to be debuting him. Okay, so they're not playing Tuesday night. So whenever Phoenix's next game is, so it'll be Wednesday or Thursday. That'll be wild if it's Thursday, but let's assume that it's Wednesday. Then maybe they're gonna be debuting him Wednesday. Let's take a couple of these look at a couple of these matchups for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Tuesday? Yeah. Shit. Washington and Atlanta. We'll probably have Atlanta winning that one. Milwaukee and Brooklyn. Milwaukee will probably end up continuing their win streak, shoot that up to 15 now. To Chicago at Toronto. Let's give Chicago that dub. Even though Toronto has a better record, I still believe in Chicago a little bit more. Lakers and Memphis. Memphis been talking too much shit, so they'll allow the Lakers their 30th victory and close in a little bit more. That's going to be the TNT game. Denver at Houston. Yeah, I'm gonna bet. I'm gonna write this one down. Tuesday. I'm gonna bet that Joker goes for 40. I'm serious. Jokic 40 versus Houston. If you guys are listening to me right now, if there's odds on it, if the odds look favorable, take it. Take it right now. I'm gonna lock it in. I'm gonna try to lock it in after this game. I'm gonna take a look at it and I'm gonna lock it after this game. But if the odds look favorable, I am locking in the Joker to put up over 40. I'm sorry, everybody's doing it. Like, why not me? Like, they let everybody else hit. Why not the Joker? Hit? Was that against? No, that was against the Clippers. So yeah, he's put up another 40. He's put up another 40. Evil laugh. Evil laugh. Evil laugh. Oh man. Oh, that's horrible. That's horrible. Oh man, we gotta wrap this podcast up soon. Yeah, we really are. Let's just finish looking at this though. You see, so we have Denver and Houston, and we have Sacramento take over against Oklahoma City. Let's take Sacramento on that one. Dallas and Indy. That's gonna intrigue me because we've seen what's been going on. Was there more games? Like, we've seen what's been going on in Dallas as of late. And I wouldn't be surprised if like Indy sneak them. But yeah, I'm not gonna put my faith in Indy sneaking Dallas. Like, I'm really not gonna. I'm not gonna bet on it. And if I wouldn't bet on it, like, yeah. So let's also on that one. Then let's see here. We have San Antonio in Utah. That's gonna be a Utah dub. We just told you that San Antonio has quit for the season. Golden State and Portland is gonna be a matchup. That should be a nice little matchup tomorrow. Is that the TNT game? No, the other TNT game tomorrow night is gonna be Clippers in Minnesota. That is so disrespectful. Again, you're giving me Minnesota and Clippers over Portland and Golden State? I don't like it. I don't listen. I don't get it and I don't like it. Like those, like I don't get it and I don't like what's going on, baby. This should not be the marquee game of the night or the game to finish off the night. I guess you got to get them all checked out eventually. You can't just always have Golden State Portland, but that would have been a match. I mean, yeah, listen, just like the other night should have been Sacramento and Clippers. That game right there should 100% be Golden State versus Portland. All right, let's take a look at the rest of these games. And what I say after that is lastly is Minnesota and Clippers, and that's the last one. Speaking of Kings, right? We've done a lot of King talk recently, right? Talked about LeBron James being injured. Talked about the Sacramento Kings and their two players that put up a 40-piece. Shout out to Fox and I want to say Miles Bridges, but it's not Miles Bridges. It's don't look. What's that guy's name? Shit. Okay, let's look. Malik Monk. That's my video being paused on Instagram. Yeah, get this shit together. This is kind of non-sports related. We're gonna end the show with this little piece of information that we ran into. Have you guys heard that Adidas is in talks with Kanye? Yeah, it's need to stop right there, right? You already see where this is going, right? So yeah, they're in talks with Kanye to try to negotiate a deal to offload the remaining Yeezy products. So let's take that all in. What I didn't hear was that, they're signing Kanye to continue their relationship, to move forward, to blah, 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 while giving him... No. It's, hey, can you help us move this merch of yours we already have that we've been trying to lowball people and call it the Ox whatever collection, and these sneakers went from being $400 sneakers to now $80 sneakers and $40 sneakers. Like, seriously, that's a part of the reason why they lost it, because they realized they were losing $250 million a quarter with no Kanye. $250 a quarter, and they couldn't keep eating that. It's already been 2 quarters now. They're like, yeah, we can't keep taking these kind of historic losses. But the thing about historic losses, right? This historic loss came from one specific historic gain. So that means once you had this one historic gain, you just thought it was gonna constantly be like this forever. Didn't your contract with Kanye have an expiration date? You thought you were gonna milk the brother forever? And always be able to depend on his layer of profit, or did your plan be like, oh, let's milk Kanye, and then when we're done with Kanye, we'll roll another guy in here. We'll get the Travis Scott editions, or whatever it is, the Rihanna editions, the Offset and Cardi B edition, right? Right, and keep milking the culture that way. Was that the plan? Because at some point in time, these layers of profits were going to, I see a call here and give Daniel, right? These layers of profit were going to extinguish, right? And you're gonna have to find a new line of revenue. So I'm kind of curious about this outreach. What's going on, Gift? Oh, Daniel, how you doing? Welcome to MyT Sports Podcast. Oh, thought I brought him in here. Guess we lost him. So the way I hear it is that Kanye and I fucked up apparel is what I'm calling them now, because they also realized that they super fucked themselves. Not only were they stuck with merchandise that they couldn't push anymore, right? And there's nothing worse than being with product that you can't push, and bills and those bills are coming due. But you can't push that product, and now even before that particular product, half of your regular people, or at least 25% to 30% of your regular people stop fucking with you because of it now. Because how many people just stop fucking with Adidas just because they did Kanye dirty? Wasn't even buying Yeezys. Was like, you know what? Yeah, you did Kanye dirty. I'm not even gonna fuck with you at all anymore now. Don't really need to put your pill on my body for any particular reason. Yeah. So now they're back in talks with Kanye to help them offload any remaining product. And I wonder if this is like a kind of like a ploy to try to get him back. Like, hey, Kanye, just help us offload this stuff already. You know, we get this price back up. It puts a couple of hundreds of millions of dollars back into your pocket. We'll renegotiate these terms because and if I'm Kanye, listen, I am coming ruthless. Like if this was 45-55 in their favor, if this was 50-50 in you know what I mean, or if this was 60-40 in my favor, oh, I'm coming for 75%. Oh, that's unreasonable, Kanye. You can't move this without me, pimpin'. You called me to help offload this. If you can't agree to 75% my way, then go back to pushing your little Oxfords or whatever they are. Go back to pushing them and see if you can make back up the profits that you're trying to make. At least I'm giving you back something. And you know what they say, slow money is better than no money. And listen, they may take the choice, but like, you know what? We're gonna go with our slow money version way of this. But ultimately, it's not. See, you have to think about it too. It's not just getting Kanye back in there. They're not just looking to get Kanye to help unload it. They want Kanye's name, image, and likeness back with them so that they can get black people to start with them again. Or all those black people that they lost before, they're trying to get them back in there. Oh, Kanye's back. Oh, I can fuck with Adidas again. That's what they're trying to do. That's what they really mean. Can you help us get back the customers that we lost when you left us? Can you help us get back the black demographic that we lost when you left us? Can you help us get back the age demographic that we lost when you left us? I'm sorry, when I left y'all. You mean when y'all were robbing me and wouldn't renegotiate my contract because it wasn't going? But now y'all was like, we could do this without you, Kanye. We don't need you. Oh yeah, I'm hoping Kanye goes for 85%. Because this is exactly what Kanye was trying to tell them. Probably negotiations like, hey, you can't move this without me. Let's move some things around. Give me back creative give me creative control. Give me a higher percentage, and let's get this thing back rolling. We don't need you. We could do this with anybody. You're just blah, blah, blah. We'll rebrand this and we can sell any nigga's shoes. Nah, you can't. Nobody's just buying them shits. Because nobody's going to buy ugly apparel unless a famous person is attached to it. And Adidas, your name isn't big enough just to sell ugly apparel. Oh, man. That's hilarious. When I saw that is hilarious. Because that's really doing some Spike Lee, some please, was that Formula 51? Please. Come back to me, baby, come back. Baby, come back to me. That's exactly what you're doing. Like, he has the groveling, and just like how I talk about players need to use their thing when they their leverage when they have it. Kanye, you now have leverage again. Let's see what happens with it. Kanye needs to be making sure he comes with the bulk share of the money here. Like you give them just enough money for them to be able to wet their whistle, just enough for them to get back into financial good graces of their stockholders. Just enough, but not enough for them to truly profit off of your creativeness and your genius more than you are. They can go kick rocks, and the first two rocks they can start kicking are the one between their legs. Go kick rocks. I think I want to wrap this podcast up right around now, but big up to Kanye for saying, like, yo, I'm not crazy. You guys know what's going on here. Again, try to depict the man as crazy. See, that's where I need to renegotiate my contract. Oh, you're crazy. Let's make the world think devalue you while still trying to sell products that you inspired. Like, how crazy is that? Now, that's crazy. I want to renegotiate my contract because we have gotten to terms where this is no longer favorable for both of us. If it's only favorable to you, and it's no longer favorable, we only get this far because of me. Let's think about it. See, but probably the same people that have a problem with Kanye wanting to renegotiate his contract is also probably the same person that when an NFL player signs a 5-year contract and 2 years into it, they're like, yeah, I've outgrown this contract. Let's renegotiate. You have a problem with that. because you've never worked in you can go and renegotiate your contract within 2 years. You just think something's wrong. Now listen, there's plenty of people out there that are in jobs, that are in profitable positions. We know them personally. But no, see, you don't understand this kind of stuff. I have friends like this don't understand this kind of stuff. Sometimes I think it's also blurred by racial lines, but we'll just keep it fully sports, right? Right? Sports and business. I know people that I know personally that have been in positions that they thought that their job wasn't paying them enough. And what do you guys do? You may have signed something that says that you agree to this amount of money, but you know what? You just I'm worth more. You need to renegotiate this. And if they don't acquiesce or you can't negotiate, you leave. I've had a friend that I had a friend that told her company that she was going to leave, and it ended up getting her $75,000 more throughout that time. I'm saying, is she wrong, or is the person that thinks that she shouldn't have done that, or are you wrong because you're just too fucking scared to want to go in there and demand your worth? See, that's what you can never listen to. When people try to project their own fears on you or amongst others. See, when people tell that, oh, he should just play it out. That's because you have a fear of going to your superiors because you don't think you can go to your superiors and demand more. Because you think if you do that, you'll be out that door because you don't believe that you are worth more. That's what it boils down to. He believed in his worth, as he has believed in his worth since day one. He knew what he was doing for them, and he realized that he wasn't coming up with the amount of profits or the end result that he was looking for. And when he decided to renegotiate, they publicly smeared him. They deemed him crazy. They tried to deem him crazy in the public, smeared his name, did the whole entire character assassination to the public. Is what they would have done. Is what they would have done to Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle didn't run to Africa, so they couldn't talk bad about him, because he just basically said, you know what, keep all that shit. I'm bouncing. Now Kanye West is like, nah, I want my product. But listen to Dave Chappelle. What Dave Chappelle says. It's sucks watching everybody else do his show. So at some point in time, it's gonna suck watching Adidas keep trying to lowball and do an injustice to your products. But you know, Kanye West is not the same person as Dave Chappelle. They probably don't handle things the same. They go about their art of war a little bit differently. That's what it is. It's how are you going about your art of war? And everybody wants war to be this nice cookie cut formula where everybody is kind of kumbaya during the process, and that's not how it is. Sometimes shit looks ugly. You guys about to see, like World War III, that's y'all fight. Y'all newcomers, y'all new batches of 18 to 27-year-olds. This is your fight. Good luck with this one. Dub Trey. I don't even know how we got here. But again, big up to Kanye. No, seriously, let him get a big up in it. Big up to Kanye for sticking through his process while everybody thought he was insane and out of his mind, and eventually getting to the point where he always wanted to get to, where Adidas is willing to truly listen and open up negotiations about or in regards to his contract with them. And before all this, they weren't willing to listen. How is this? See, in our sports world, how is this any different than a player wanting a new contract and sitting out because he knows his value versus what the team is willing to give him? Again, I know you guys already saying, "No, but he signed it." I'm worth more now. Yesterday's price isn't today's price. Let's renegotiate. Because if we can't renegotiate and there's nothing in my contract biting me to stay here and put up with you undervaluing me, and I could take my talents somewhere else where I can make the kind of money that I'm seeking, where I can get the kind of options, protections that I'm seeking, freedoms that I'm seeking. If you won't give it to me, somebody else will. But they didn't want to lose him. So instead of saying like, hey, yeah, you can go seek out what you need to see, go seek your trade, go seek your monetary value somewhere else. Nah, let's discredit him. Let's besmirch him because that's their art of war. Let's tear down the character of the man. Let's tear down the image of the man. Let's make sure that everybody that deals with them thinks that they're crazy so that they can't do business with anybody else again. They didn't realize that we was going to band together as a community too and not fuck with you either. At least as much as we could. I can't say every black person was fucking with Adidas or every Kanye fan stopped fucking with Adidas, but I know it was enough to start to make you guys have to go back and renegotiate with. And if you guys had to do that, that means, oh, you got humbled, Adidas. You got fully humbled. And I hope in your moment of humbleness, Kanye bends you over and fucks you in the ass with a spiked dildo. I can't wait to hear the end of this story. But you know what? This is the MyT Sports Podcast. I am your host and one and only talent, Omar Taylor. Right? We are coming to the end of the show. And don't you guys forget that life is like a sandwich, right? Regardless of how you flip it, the bread comes first. We're out of here. Can you play my outro so I can just stop looking into the abyss? I need some elbow. I need some elbow.